Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we are live.
No.
Sorry, but I have to turn it off.
Yeah, she said she's getting sick.
Okay, we're going to call to order the study session at 6 p.m. We're going to talk about some old business. Just the discussion that we had at the last meeting, right, of the stuff, so we just leave it?
What's that?
The discussion of the cemetery fees and all of that?
No, we're gonna bring that back.
Okay. Any new business? So we're gonna skip. Let me take this off. Discussion of the resolution 2022-4, authorizing the mayor to sign an agreement for professional services between the city of Mapton and the law firm of William Edelblut, attorney at law, PLLC, for the city attorney services, PG 11 through 13. To B, the presentation from Apollo Solutions Group.
Yeah, we're still going on. We still need to go over the.
Oh, okay, I'm
first
sorry.
one. Yeah.
Anyone want to talk about the agreement between the attorney and the city of Mapton?
Has he been a representative for other cities also?
Yes.
Or,
I don't have that on me.
And he was supposed to be on, so I don't know if he's just running late or
Is he, you
what.
want to ask Josh?
I already asked
No,
him.
he's not on yet, okay. Yeah, so we looked in and to him, we talked to him and he has represented other cities. And we went on to look at his reviews and he had really good reviews as well. We'll move on to the,
since we're talking about attorneys, are we still paying for the law office of Beck and Phillips and Jamie and then, I don't know, Randall Peters also?
No, that's, which, one- are you questioning?
On
which-
page 10,
Page 10.
about halfway down.
So your question was what, City?
We're still paying, what's this, law
Randall
office
Peters?
of Beck and Phillips?
That is the attorneys that represent the people in court. That has, he defends people. So that.
From arrest,
Correct.
and we're still paying Jamie also?
Matter of fact, it was a voucher, correct. And that was 1,000.
1,900?
Correct.
And that Randall Peters also?
Randall, yes, he's the wastewater backup.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that in, I thought we were done with Jamie since he resigned in January.
And maybe these are back, I would have to double check the invoice, and maybe Josh can double check the services.
So let me see. Give me just a second here. Oh.
So right now we're on the A, and then we can discuss that under council, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, Mayor, so we can go to.
okay, so we'll move on to B, presentation from Apollo Solutions Group.
I do have a handout for us to look at. I know it's going to be on the screen as well. Thank you. So this whole process started about 2 years ago. And my goal tonight is to kind of update you on everything that's been done. We've got a couple of grants that we had success on as far as a lighting and solar project is concerned. I kind of want to bring you up to speed on everything that's been done and kind of where we go from here if we would like to continue moving forward. So basically, you folks are probably familiar with Apollo in some sense. I do have an agenda here on the first page, kind of a reintroduction of Apollo, who we are, what we do, and how we do it. A little bit more about Apollo Solutions Group specifically. The RFP response that we responded to a little bit over a year ago with the city selecting Apollo to provide our services. An IGA, which stands for Investment Grade Audit, for the lighting citywide and solar project as well. We'll go over our grant successes and talk about the fact that we are ready for contract. I guess, does anybody, before I jump in, have any questions? I talk very fast, so I apologize. I'm going to try to slow down as much as possible.
So I think you might want to fill us in a little bit because Andy is new, I am new, but I do know a little bit about the project. So I know we have Councilmember Mary, she's out today, but if you can kind of just briefly go over it so Andy kind of understands what's going on.
Sure. So a couple of years ago, the city decided to run an RFP for a lighting retrofit and then a solar project over the wastewater treatment plant. So the idea is we wanted to provide the city a guaranteed not to exceed cost and a guaranteed energy savings by putting in energy savings measures. So essentially what the wastewater treatment plant is using, that solar array would essentially spin the meter backwards so that we have a significant amount of savings there. The whole goal of everything was to see if we took a loan, would that loan be fully funded by the energy savings? Would we have to take out any out of pocket from the city? Which, no, we do not. But hopefully that is a little bit of a background of why we wanted to look at this, why we responded to the RFP. And then of course, if there's there might be some other slides in here that help along the way. Is that going to help a little bit? Give a little background? Okay. So on this page here, Apollo Solutions, a division of Apollo Mechanical, which has been around since 1981, based out of Kennewick. My group specifically focuses on energy savings in existing buildings, facilities, and things like that. So we also do a lot of solar projects as well. So Toppenish School District was one of the most closely related ones, but we just put in one at Granger as well last year. And then we're also working with the school district on potentially doing a project there as far as solar is concerned. So basically, we are the 5th largest mechanical contractor in the US, but our group is much smaller than that. But we are the safest contractor in the state. We focus on getting grants for these projects because working in small communities, we have to stretch the dollars out as much as possible. So we look at other people's money as a way to help fund these projects. Some of the advantages in what the city council was looking at before, the advantages of working with Apollo is that we provide 3 guarantees. We guarantee the cost, the energy savings, and the performance of the equipment and systems that we install. So when we came to the city council to say, here's our RFP response, it's going to cost X amount of dollars. Say it costs $100, and the cost comes in at 110, that's $10 out of Apollo's pocket. Because we said it was going to cost 100, we have to live up to that guarantee. If we come in under budget, that money stays in your pocket, which is huge because we did a solar project for the town of Fairfield. We came in $30,000 under budget, so that money all stayed in their pocket. On the energy savings side, if we say we're going to save you $10 and we save you 11, great, we've done our job. If we fall short of that, we have to write you a check for the difference. So we come back after a year and we say, here's the project, here's what we said that we were going to do, and here's what we actually did. So we have to give you a report after that first year. You can do up to 3 to 5 years, whatever you'd like to do. And then we also guarantee the performance of the equipment and systems that we install. So it's a little bit more than just a manufacturer's warranty. We make sure that everything is working properly. And if there's any needs that the city would like to see, we come back and we address that at no cost, which is great. Any questions so far? The other part of the advantage here is the streamline process. So we have a dedicated site superintendent, construction manager that's on site whenever work is being done. So if the city has any questions or there's a subcontractor that's not doing what they're supposed to do, you could come right to Apollo and we take it from there. So it's really a one-stop shop, and then you guys hopefully are very happy at the end. We do have a 5-step process, and kind of what we helped the city with initially was seeing if there were any projects that were doable. We looked at HVAC systems, we looked at all sorts of different things, and the city decided that the best options were for lighting and for a solar array. So after doing the RFP, we went into this 3rd phase, which is the investment grade audit, which is where the city council elected to say, all right, Apollo, here's, we are guaranteeing that if we get these funds through Department of Commerce, through TransAlta, all these different grants, then we will move forward with this project. You can spend the hours it's going to take to get that guaranteed not to exceed cost and guaranteed energy savings. From grants, we got those grants, and then we move into this 4th phase, which is the construction piece. And then after construction's done, we move into the 5th phase, which is where the measurement and verification happens. So after the first few months, we want to check back in, make sure the systems are all working properly. If there's any issues, we go back in and replace them, make sure everything is good to go. Typically, when a project doesn't go well, it's because the system goes wrong in the first 30 days to 3 months. And so we can catch it within that first warranty year period. And once we get kind of past that first year, you don't have as many issues. There are questions all the time about how long does the array degrades about 0.5% each year. So essentially, even after 30 years, we're still experiencing quite a bit of savings over. So on this next page, the RFP response, we were awarded in February of 2021. applied for a Department of Commerce grant in August, and we're successful on that. We found out in December that we were successful. Then we moved to apply for the TransAlta technology grant on December 31st. We were awarded that in January. So I believe tonight we're looking to not only approve the but also approving the contract for Apollo as well. We guaranteed a maximum project construction cost on all the lighting and the solar at $519,204. With the anticipated guaranteed energy savings of $12,220 annually. So that's an additional savings to the city every year. And then after our grants were subtracted out, the out-of-pocket portion for the city would be $141,498. Essentially, if you take that $141,498 by the energy savings of $12,220, you have a payback period of 11.6 years. So that was attractive to the council previously. If we take a 15-year loan, does the energy savings fully fund that? And yes, it does. In fact, we have a little bit extra, so that would be going either towards paying it off sooner or just right back to the bottom line. So that's where we say there's no additional out-of-pocket. We take a loan for the 15 years and we can pay it off sooner. We have a cash positive or cash neutral scenario. Are there any questions on that? On the next page, it just talks a little bit more about the grant successes. Department of Commerce received $277,706. And Delta Corporation, which is a grant or a coal transition firm, they gave us another $100,000. So that money comes off the top straight away. And we like to use everybody else's money before the city's. So hopefully we don't need to take out as much of a loan because hopefully we've done our work and come in at or under budget and make sure we do our best. This is actually really cool to talk about because in Eastern Washington and Central Washington, there were only 6 people that received the Department of Commerce grants, and 5 ended up receiving the TransAlta grants. On the west side of the state, there were 23 solar grantees. So I don't know why they decided that Western Washington was better to receive it. They don't have nearly as much sun as we do over here, but that's probably the politics of it all. Anyway, so we're very happy about this. It's going to be a great project. We're hoping that you feel the same. I'd love to answer any questions, take any comments. And then hopefully tonight, and I'm not sure of the way that this intended to approve or not, but just love to get some feedback and see how we're doing.
Any questions? Thank you. So we'll go on to Sylvia. So B, C, and D the same?
So go ahead and just read it out. C, it's just the discussion.
And we're going to go on to C. It's the discussion of resolution 2022-5, approval of group energy savings performance contract 436. Do you have any questions? Okay. Judy, you're up. Okay, so we're going to move on to D, discussions of resolution 2022-6, approval of Yakima Valley Office of Emergency Management Agreement, page 47 through 54. Any questions?
No.
Is this just like renewing what we've had in the past?
Just to renew every year.
Okay. No question.
With that, we're going to go ahead and adjourn this meeting at 6:17.